I was at the basically I was only like about 16 years old. If even that, I may have only been 14 or 15 years old. I was still in freshman, sophomore in high school. My German buddy of mine and I, we went up to Marysville, Washington, where close to where we kind of used to live, about 45 minutes out from Seattle, north towards Bellingham, and it's an Indian reservation, and we went on the Indian reservation and bought some of their. That's where he purchased the best fireworks, is on the Indian reservations. And of course, there was back then. They didn't have stringent laws on certain things. You could still use firecrackers and ladyfingers and all that, and bottle rockets, whistling Pete's, and it was perfectly legal. But now they're more strict on it. But it's been 30, 40, 50, about 50 years or 40 years. But yeah, we used to purchase these highly explosive products from the Indian reservation, and we were just kids, and I'm surprised they sold it to us because we weren't with any grown-ups, we weren't with any people that were adults. They asked me if my dad was a cop before they sold us these half sticks of dynamite. It was about this big. It was wrapped in silver. It was silver. It was bigger than an M80. It was bigger than an M70, M60. They called it M500. And he told me it was a half stick of dynamite. So when I lit it off, I threw it off the top of the structure down during a fireworks show in a major metropolitan area. I was just I was just a sophomore. I was still underage, still a minor. So it wasn't a felony. It would have been a misdemeanor because I was underage. So I threw it off the top of this building, and boom! No windows shattered, but it set off all the car alarms and the whole entire parking lot. I was like, wow. So it was right down there in Elliott Bay in Seattle, Washington. I was with a German friend, and he was on top of one side of the building, and I was on the other side of the street on the top of another building. We had these bottle rockets, and we'd hold them in our hands. Shoo! I'd dodge it. Shoo! Shoo! And we had a whole gross of them. They're called grosses. They're big bundles, like about maybe 100 per pack, maybe more. 250, 500 bottle rockets. And so I didn't realize, that was dangerous. That was kind of, what do you call it? It wasn't something you would do now. Looking back at it, I can't believe I got away with it. Doing something like that. That was, I don't know how dangerous those things are, but bottle rockets, they do, if I suppose if it lands on you, I suppose it could tear into your flesh a little. But yeah, we were aiming it. We were launching them at each other, not up in the sky, but yeah, we were trying to get the trajectory right. And so we had these little war games when we were kids, either with pyrotechnics, or we would use eggs. We'd egg each other with eggs, buy cartons of eggs from these grocery stores and throw them at each other. And we'd use light bulbs and throw those at each other. And we'd also use these things called crab. We would play war games with crab apples from these trees from our grade school. We'd put up these tin garbage can lids and use them as shields. And we'd take the other arm and use these little crab apples. They're about this big. We'd throw them at each other. They'd bounce off of our tin can lids. So yeah, I was with a bunch of my friends but yeah, we just come to think about it, we were kind of vicious as kids. We were kind of cruel, even with each other. I mean, we were nice to each other because we were friends, but man, we'd play soak 'em and butt ball, and it really hurt. We'd throw the ball at each other in the back, sting each other. With these little tennis balls, rubber balls, and so yeah, we weren't doing it because we were enemies. We were each other's enemies. We were But that was just I guess a sign of being in a gang or a posse, I suppose. You know, just letting people know that you can't be a gang member without being totally unscathed. Unscathed.